That's right. You know what happened when the Allied forces crossed the Rhine into Germany? Hey, it got tough. You know why? Because the Germans at that point were fighting for their homeland. Folks, we're fighting for our homeland. Don't be convinced any other way. We are fighting for our country. Engage, and everything will show itself when we do.
That's right. We have to smoke the enemy out by every person everywhere engaging. We'll talk about some ways to engage when we come back, but the key is just have the will to do it, and the doors will open. Just ask God to. I haven't gotten any of the Donald Trump clips, and boy, they're powerful. Obama stumbling around, bumbling around, trying to tag him back. Kids being brainwashed, white kids, black kids, Hispanic kids, just kids, to say horrible things about Trump, that he's racist. He said he hates Jews. I'm Jewish. I mean, he didn't say he hates Jews or black people or Hispanics or anybody. But again, it just shows, and these parents are in the background of these clips. They're up on Infowars.com going, good. They sound like snakes. I just thank God I had parents that were involved and informed and studied history, and my mom's got a degree in history. And it's true, people that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Larry Nichols was getting into the fact that they're getting us to a point of our backs being against the wall. They've made it racial. And I love the fact that despite the fact they said the Tea Party was racist, that some Hispanics and black folks would come to it. But now I'm seeing a lot of these rallies where half the folks are Hispanic. It's incredible. And huge numbers of black folks who really see through it. And I mean, are there going to be some racist people at Trump rallies? Absolutely. But I mean, I'm a white guy, believe me. Most white people I know are the opposite of racist. They're self-loathing, okay? I mean, most people don't like themselves in this modern society. You give them another reason, they're going to be into it. There's a lot of self-hating going on, no matter what color you are. We're just people. And he has such a unifying message, but of sovereignty. We need that. They're killing that. Hey, we got open borders. Hey, they're bringing in radicals. Hey, sure, he's giving people red meat, because that's the first thing people get. Hey, my life's falling apart, but I got to pay for all this. So I was talking to Larry Nichols. I want to keep him in the next hour a little bit if he can do it. If he's probably got to go. About solutions. How do people get involved at first? How do people take action at first? What do they do? And there's 1,000 ways to do it. The biggest way in the information war is the internet, to take our articles, our videos, our material, stories, this Larry Nichols video that's live right now, and send it to people. That's number one. But number two, run for office locally. Number three, start a shooting club, whatever. It's all little things in the culture that will break the globalists back. Call and talk radio. Do your own YouTube channel. I want to keep you a little bit if you got to go, at least on the Trump stuff and what's about to roll out. And I don't know how much that was inside baseball or outside baseball, because you were telling Nico and he related, but a lot of exciting stuff there. And, of course, you want to communicate directly to the Trump folks. We're saying through this platform, not with them for reasons that are obvious. But spend a few minutes with us here on solutions. How does somebody who's never really been involved, how do they get involved?
All right. First off, Alex, I'm glad you asked me. Guys, there's a couple of things I want to make very, very clear. You know, Alex, bless his heart, I ask you to help me. I need it. I'm not going to say I don't. I'm not going to say what on earth. I'm not saying I don't, but I cannot. My thingies. Do you hear that, Alex?
No, your computer's going crazy. It's okay, but it's not coming across here.
Well, anyway, what I want you to know is you don't have to send me money, but here's what you better do. You had better get on Alex's email list. You've got to. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know where that's coming from. You better get on Alex's email list.
Absolutely, because with all the internet censorship intensifying, with all the internet, that's how we were able to communicate with folks. And yes, it's for marketing to fund ourselves as well, but it is more important than ever. I've never really even used it for marketing until now to reach people with this censorship increasing. Now, Larry, do you have another show coming up? Do you have to go?
Well, I do, but I'll look, this is too important. I can't stop at this point.
Okay, well, I got to go to break in 1 minute. I want to come back and give you the floor for just 5 more on the Trump situation. There's been new Trump developments.
Absolutely. But one thing quickly, get on the email list. And then, folks, I'm telling you, every one of you, this comes from me. I get nothing out of it. It don't mean nothing to me. It means a lot to me to protect you, because you're the Army. You have got to stock up for a month or 2 or 3 or 6. Have food stuff. Be prepared. Be prepared if they shut down the system.
That's how they want to control us. That's why they want us so dependent. Larry Nichols is with us till 15 minutes into this hour. Then he's got another interview he's doing. This guy is battling cancer. If you're a radio listener, you can't see him there with the bandages on his throat from surgery, and they've got it opened up so they can put a trach in when they need to, and he's on oxygen, and the guy's tough. And, in the fictional world of Breaking Bad, the guy cooks methamphetamine to try to fund, his cancer treatment. With Larry Nichols, he just puts up a PayPal for folks to support him. We're going to put that up before he leaves us again. And then Joe Bigg's going to join us from the Social Justice Warriors on the Road. I'm going to open the phones up. And we also have David Knight honchoing the fourth hour. Larry, I want to hit the Trump stuff when we come back in the next segment because this one's short. But finishing up with solutions, if people just spread the word about this broadcast or other broadcasts that are telling the truth, if people educate Congress, there are a lot of good people. We have to normalize reality. We know reality's scary. We know it's sensational. We know it's scary to have to talk about it, but it is happening. And so we need to force this out in the open. But then what do we do after that point when they've got most of the key positions filled with other criminals? And we know the government's criminal. 6% of the public trust the media in an AP poll, scientific. What happens at that point where most of the military's awake, a lot of the FBI's awake, they're not all bad people, Secret Service I know is awake, but the people on top are these horrible clowns like Hillary. What do we do about this stalemate or impasse?
All right, first thing you got to do, Alex, is what you did and what you and I did back when Bill Clinton. We have to set up an overall umbrella, all right? Now, a lot of people are awake, but the problem we have, Alex, is a lot of people have their pet peeve issues. Some people are against this. Some people are against this. We've got to unify under the one thing, save this country. Forget all of the smaller issues. Get unified under one issue, the big picture. We got to save the country. Now, once we do that, once we come together, we've got to identify ourselves, Alex. That's the problem. We must identify ourselves. That's why I beg people to get on your email list. We've got to know how many people and who we've got in our army. Now, with that, then we can attack, and I mean attack the people that are in Washington, the good ones. Yes, we've got to give them the faith that there are enough people behind us to back them, that they're not out there on the limb by themselves. And then we've got to be able to cut through the media and attack the Clintons. And how do you do that? That's where Donald Trump comes in. Donald Trump is our great hope. You see, Trump, if he will keep doing what he's doing, he gives us access, Alex, to the people going around the media. He talks straight to the people. The media tries to block him at every turn. He don't care. He just tweets or twigs or whatever he does. He gets the word out. That's where we gather.
And that's what he's been able to do is a focal point. And the fact that he's going with your research, Drudge's research, our research, and really putting in the Clintons' face is absolutely terrifying them.
Imagine this. What happened, Alex, if let's just imagine Trump getting up in a speech and he says, they have said that the whole Vince Foster thing is solved. There's nothing to it. It's all put to bed. What if in that speech he was given, he held up the Secret Service memo and he read it and he said, now, does this sound like it was solved? Him doing that would set the media on fire. The whole world would know.
The whole thing will come back out again, and just like Absolutely. The Saudi 28 pages, that's all out now, or starting to come out because of that? Absolutely.
So there are moves. We have to remember, Alex, in any battle, any military person will tell you there is strategic and tactical. We must understand strategically what our goal is. Our goal, folks, is nothing but save our country.
And then tactically, how do we do it?
Tactically, how we do it. Number one, we stop Hillary. Number two, we move to the only true thing that saves this nation, and that is moving back to...
I'm kind of torn with some of those new liners that we've done, because it sounds like we're... And now, in Las Vegas, Nevada, the big fight night. But then the other side of it is, no, this is an epic battle. We need to have like horns going off and sirens and air raid sirens. It is crazy that InfoWars is one of the most prominent organizations still promoting Americana, basic free market, due process, live in a free country. And that we're just overrun with globalist propaganda and dumbing down. It is an amazing time to be alive. Larry Nichols leaves us here in a few minutes. Joe Biggs is coming on. I will get to all these Trump clips. I was trying to get a bunch of them this morning. They had them ready for showtime. And then I'm like, hurry up and get me that. And then I don't play it for 2 hours. So they need to slap me around sometimes. But it's epic what's going on. And remember, America isn't the whole planet. Every form of insanity is intensifying in other areas because the globalists admittedly have been creating economic conditions that exacerbate that on record. So I want Larry Nichols here to impart to the audience, again, top Clinton insider, formerly basically handling the Clintons to a great extent when he was governor. And then it just got so corrupt he had to start fighting back. He was the main guy in the Clinton Chronicles and big news articles about it. One of the top people that was instrumental in getting information out through Drudge and David Shippers and others that finally got the impeachment of Clinton going. And even if it didn't finally convict him in the Senate, it punished him publicly and at least created the idea that you're not completely above the law. We're now in a climate, I'd say 3-4 times worse, where just the lawlessness, not just the email gate or the Benghazi or Fast and Furious or all this, it's just incredible that we've reached this point. So in the last few minutes we have with Larry Nichols, you talked to Nico before the show today. I'd like to talk to you after the show, if we can, about how much of the Nichols-Trump information we're allowed to talk about on air or where this is all going. I mean, I know you've wanted to reach out to Trump. You've said that on the videos. And I know that those folks have reached out to you. I don't know how far you want to go on that. But obviously you were saying that you just want to impart the basic knowledge here publicly. And then, hopefully Trump will then go the next step on Vince Foster, the next step on the rape. So try to reveal to the audience here who's on pins and needles about this, how much you can tell us, Larry Nichols.
Well, here's what I intend to do. And this will be up to Mr. Trump and what he does. Number one, if Donald Trump called me today, Alex, I would say to him, Mr. Trump, I support you, but I will not be an official part of your campaign in any way, because if we got caught being together, they would roast you horribly. Because remember, they call me every kind of thing there is. They call him everything there is, and they would use both of us to discredit it. So therefore, what I would say to Mr. Trump is, I will go about every other week on Alex Jones, sure will, come right here if you would allow me, and I will release a new scandal, a new piece of the puzzle. Now, once I do that, it would be very wise for Mr. Trump to pick it up like he did the Vince Foster thing, pick it up and talk about it. You see, if he will talk about it, what we break here, it will draw people, Alex, here to hear more of the story.
Sure, 2 months ago, you said Trump needs to go with Vince Foster. He did. So it's very exciting.
Well, and remember the strategy for Vince Foster, Alex, as you and I have talked about since day one. We're not going to get Hillary indicted over Vince Foster. We're not. But I tell you what we're going to do. I tell you what I'm going to do. And I hope you are in, and I know you are. We're going to make piece by piece by piece the true story about Vince Foster, the greatest whodunit in American history. People will get involved if they're entertained, Alex. If we try to tell them stuff and cram it down their throat in political terms and historical terms and all of that, they're not going to listen. But I tell you what, if we can entertain them, they'll buy into it. They'll learn. And you have to do it through repetition. So that's what I would say. I would say, Mr. Trump, just do me a favor. When I break something with Alex Jones, one thing that Alex makes me do, anything I break, I have to be able to prove in a court of law, which I will be able to do. So therefore, he will be safe with the subject matter and just let the people know it's out there. Now, if he does that, more people, Alex, outside of the moral Christian conservative community will come here. They'll come here to hear. And of course, when they come here, Alex, I'm a one-trick pony. I'm Clinton. That's what I do. That's who I am. I will stop Hillary. I've made that